Oh dear. Protect your bubble. I really didn't want to have to make this video. And why do we keep fighting like this? And how many times do you want me to bust your chops? A brief catch up for those of you not aware of the story. Last year I had my phone stolen, and I was in the unfortunate position of having to try and make an insurance claim through Protect Your Bubble. The whole thing was an absolute nightmare, and it took no less than 3 months for them to get off their arse and send me a replacement phone. Even just halfway through the whole debacle, I'd already had enough of their shenanigans, so I sent them an email warning them that unless they stopped ignoring my calls and started sorting out my insurance claim, that I would take my complaints about their service public. And I gave them fair warning and told them that I would do this on the 24th of May. An entire week passed and I still hadn't had a response from the company, so on the 23rd of May, I sent them an email. The email only contained one line, but I think it made my intentions pretty clear. Now, my first mistake was taking out insurance with Protect Your Bubble. Their first mistake was calling my bluff. As of today, the blog post that I wrote warning people to stay away from Protect Your Bubble has been seen by no less than 26,781 people. And it still, to this day, remains one of the most read posts that I've ever put on that site. That got them moving. As soon as that blog post went up, PYB management gave me a panicked phone call saying, look, we'll send you a new phone as soon as possible. And, to their credit, they did. I got a refurbished model the very next day. It was broken. Another month of chasing went by and I snapped. I'm self-employed, I can't go without a phone, so I went out and bought one out of my own pocket. Again, to be fair, they did give me a refund. But in the meantime, my inbox and the comments on that original post were flooding in from people who were having a similar nightmare to what I had just gone through. So I wrote a second blog post just to kind of help people out and offer what little advice I could and provide direct contact details for the company, which I don't think they like publicised because they prefer you to go through the premium rate number. In fact, I've spent more time helping out your customers than you probably have. And I don't even get paid for it. Should probably send you guys an invoice. That second blog post has been read by a further 16,887 different people, and it got to the point where you couldn't even Google the company's name without my ugly mug and sour words appearing somewhere very near the top of the page. And they didn't like that. Not one bit. In an attempt to quash the multitude of bad reviews stinking up the place, both from myself and other disgruntled customers, they sent me a legal threat demanding that I take those blog posts down because it was impacting on their business. Naturally, I do take all legal threats with the seriousness that they deserve. Except that one, of course. It was laughable. So I laughed at them, and then I published the whole thing online. So it was my turn to call their bluff this time, and they didn't have the goods. I didn't hear a single response back. They had nothing. So that was a little bit embarrassing for them. And as far as our interaction goes, that was the end of that. Although I do sometimes send them a nice warm greeting over Twitter occasionally, just to say hello, see how they're getting on, and remind them of the good times. So if that's the end of the tale, why are we here? Why am I dredging this up again? Because I don't think they know when to leave well enough alone. Let's take a little look at the comments on that first blog post I wrote. Angry customer, angry customer, angry customer, horror story, plea for help, rant about Protect Your Bubble, angry customer, angry customer. Oh yes, here we go. A comment left yesterday from Amy. Let me get my reading voice on. I dropped my iPhone 5 and the screen smashed. Called Protect My Bubble, gave them all paperwork. ... Sent my phone off on Friday night and had a replacement iPhone 5 sent to me on the Tuesday afternoon. Absolutely amazing service. Thank you. I was worried because of the previous reviews and stories I had heard, but you replaced my phone within 2 working days. We'll insure with you again. Let's put aside the fact that no one naturally talks like that, and also the odd way in which she's directing this directly at Protect Your Bubble without even acknowledging or seemingly being aware of where she's posting the comment, i.e. on a sea of hatred. And we'll also put aside the fact that even with the best will in the world, sending a phone back on Friday night and getting a replacement on the Tuesday morning is kind of bending the limits of the British postal system. And possibly even the speed of light. So let's put all of that to one side and instead, let's have a little look at Amy's IP address. Here is how I see the comments that I left on the site. I have, of course, censored her email address just in case she is a real person, and I'm not ruling that out, but I'll just say that it's a very generic email address that hasn't been publicly used for anything except this comment. Anyway, the IP address tracks back to Redditch. What has that got to do with the price of fish, you're wondering? Well, I found this press release which was put out by our friends at Protect Your Bubble. The address on the bottom, you can probably see where this is going. Redditch. Now, for the record, I am not saying that Amy works for Protect Your Bubble or the company that handles their online PR. She could be a real person, I have no idea. And let's face it, Redditch is the hub of the Western world, and it's not surprising given the size of that metropolis if there's a link between the two. I'm just throwing it all out there. But if it is Protect Your Bubble behind this sneaky manipulation, and I'm not saying it is, but if it is Protect Your Bubble, and it might not be, but if it is Protect Your Bubble, I have a message for you, and I'm sure you're watching this. Guys, just leave it. It's your bad service that has resulted in all the negative PR you have received, and those blog posts are not going away. Just draw a line under it. You lost this one. But you keep coming back for more, using increasingly desperate and, frankly, embarrassing measures. And I put you down every single time. Just give it up. And because you don't seem to get it, here is a visual demonstration for you. This is you. And to contrast, this is me. I know I'm only the little guy with a 2-bit blog and a tiny YouTube channel. I get that, but you need to get that I work in marketing. In fact, I used to work with one of the best online reputation management companies in the country. You're in my house. Look, I know every trick in the book, and I know them better than you do. I even know some tricks that aren't in the book. I've got a second book full of tricks that you've never even heard of. Although this is just a book about pirates. Although I probably know more about pirates than you do as well. Oh, and just in case you are thinking of littering the entire internet with fake and misleading reviews, then just use an internet dongle or go through a VPN. It'll mask your IP address. You're welcome.